There we go. All right. I got to get caught up on the chat. Howdy, Boomer. Ruben, how we doing? When are you going back to streaming? When can we expect you back live? Gain like 2 mil off selling month 1 weekend tournament stuff. First of September. Okay. Barcelona versus Bayern. 1 hour before reset. Let's see. What's going on? Okay, so the plan today, I'm actually, holy hell, I'm feeling a ton of questions on Discord. I keep getting hit with a lot of stuff like asking about the reset, asking about preseason. And the last couple of streams, we've spent 20 minutes of the stream talking about reset and preseason. So, yeah, what is the reset? That's what I want to do today. I want to really dig into the reset. My plan is to use this as an opportunity to, instead of making a separate YouTube video and putting together something for the reset, of just doing it live on stream. That way I can cut it down. So I've got a few things to talk about, and then we're just going to take questions and we're just going to chat about it. And I'm auto playing versus, as you can see. So we'll do that in the background. Plus, we got to talk about weekend tournament. We got a bunch of shit. Weekend tournament. You guys, I'm reading the chat. Looks like everybody made some money. And yes, Ruben, I was impressed with your coin making yesterday. That is not in your wheelhouse. Generally, if you're making coins, then I should be winning it head to head. So, off topic, is youth soccer league starting yet in the neck of the woods? North Texas is starting next weekend. So that is kind of interesting. I've been training now since May. We are allowed in Ohio. We are allowed to train. You're not allowed to do any kind of
CS Ganoob 2020 is now following.
We're not allowed to do any kind of intra club or intra team scrimmages, but we're allowed to do inter team. So I can have 22 kids out on the field and scrimmage 10v10 or 11v11, but I'm not allowed to take a team of 10 versus another team of 10 that are training on the other half of the field. It's dumb. Everything about it is just stupid. I understand that rules have to be there for something, and and I don't think it's a hoax. We know
FIFA
people.
Jesse cheered
specifically
X10.
know people
I made
who
about
have
20
died.
million coins yesterday.
Yeah,
By the way, will the season be here for about a month?
About a month? Yeah, we'll get that. If anyone be so kind to gift me another month, I would love you forever. Let's see. I know people who've been tested positive. My wife knows people who have passed away from this. So there's nothing about it that I think is a hoax by any means. It is 100% real. It is scary. But once I step out of the car and get onto the pitch, there's a part of me that zones it all out and just wants to play, just wants to train, just wants to coach. And then I leave, I get back in the car and I'm like, oh yeah, I got hand sanitizer and everything. But for that 3 hours out on the field, I completely forget all about it. And I get that. I understand it's part of it. I don't know. But it's like you go to training and you see teams training on the field next to you, and
what the fuck happened?
They're trading pennies back and forth, and that they're like, okay, everybody has to stay 6 feet apart, so they've got them all standing along the side, and they're like, social distance, don't everybody line up. And then the coach yells, okay, huddle up, come here, and then everybody gets together in a huddle. I don't know. What do I think of Retro Memory 2? Oh my god. I just put a couple of videos together on it that if you haven't seen yet, you got to check it out. No worries, my missus is still out of work. Yeah, I mean, we're working here, but it's I don't know. I see both sides of it, and I do 100%. It's so stupid because, like, I won't go anywhere without a mask. I'll, gas stations, I'm in with the mask, and I come out, and I'm careful not to touch the outside of the mask, and I hand sanitize and wash my hands everywhere I go and everything. And then I get out on the soccer field, and I just completely
I got a big
forget all
fucking
of it.
boner right now.
It took me 10 minutes for Retro Memory 2. That's pretty much exactly where I was at. About 10 minutes to do all 9 skill games, which is about the dumbest shit on the planet. That is just utterly pointless. Why? Oh, those people who use masks below the nose. Yeah. Or the people at the restaurants, who have the gloves on. They have gloves on and they hand you your food with gloves on, and then they walk over and pick somebody else's plates up off another table with the same gloves, and then they go over to another table and hand somebody else their food with the gloves. I don't know. I mean, you do what you can do. I guess we just have to be smart. Okay, so yeah, it's dumb, but I'm as equally aggravated and annoyed with it as I am numb to it at this point. That we just, I don't know. Center backs and right backs have dropped now. Good investment for next SBC, 100% yes. How much have they dropped? I haven't looked yet. Before we get into the reset, let's take a look at that. Retro Stars progress. Where am I at on Retro Stars? I did all the verses. Oh shit, I gotta play a couple. 2. We'll get 21 minutes. Do I have? Yeah, I got enough to play 3. We'll wait and do that here before reset. But let's see. I'm right here. I'm close. I'll grab the rare today. But all I've been doing is straight down the middle. That's it. Just straight down the middle, doing nothing else. Got a bunch of ad time coming in. You guys grab that stuff quick. Will you grab Pepe? I'm not grabbing anybody. That's as far as I've gotten, and I've just been playing versus, and I did really well the first, 30 matches. I felt like I did really well, and then after that, it kind of fell apart, and I lost, like 6 or 7 in a row, and it pissed me off, so I went back to skill games. But just doing versus, it does make a difference, especially if you can win. I mean, 10 matches in versus is, at 15 compared to, let's say you play 10 matches in versus, it's basically 15 skill games. So it does make a difference. Today's my last day of a gifted sub. I am unemployed at the moment. If anybody could be so kind, I'd love you forever. Okay, so where are we at? I'm at 437 energy use too, which is where everybody should be because I haven't missed anything yet. So if I use the 9 today before reset, that puts me at 446. So after tomorrow, I'll be at 466. Then another, I think I'm a couple of days out of the 200 per day, or 200 per day bonus. But getting the 100 per day bonus has made a difference right now. 437 is where you should be at right now. Actually, you could be at 443 if you weren't, I'm a couple behind. I just haven't used them yet. But just make sure you use every bit of energy you possibly can right before the reset every day, and it'll get you as far as you can. Will SBC formation again? No idea. Did I sell weekend tournament players for suggested? Okay, so as you can tell, I have about 1 million coins right now. And the reason I only have 1 million coins right now is I didn't wait. I've been claiming everything since the last stream. And it's because the market's been so crazy, I didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to buy. So, let's see. You grabbed all 68 you could and made over 6 mil. Okay, so I recorded myself at right after the 4 hour. So I jumped in. I had 360 weekend tournament points. You want to see the team? It's a terrible team, but where's it at? There it is. Okay, that's my 95 squad. So I jumped in right at the reset and started grabbing all of the 360 points and was grabbing, just grabbing all of the 2 point and some 5 point just to see what was going to happen. And it worked out well. I started to sell stuff. The suggested was really high right out of the gate, and then it died. Like nothing was being bought at suggested. So I started lowering and undercutting suggested. It started to sell again. Only got a couple of elites. Those did really well. Got one master, packed one master, sold him, and your center defensive mid is my sister's boyfriend. Interesting. Where at? I have a CDM in? Oh, you're referring to whoever's at the 6. Okay. So here's what happened. I'll post it. I claimed everything that sold in the first 4. Then I dumped it, and everything that dismissed after 4 hours, I put it in, and I sold everything over a 12-hour period. So some things it took 3 times. Some went the first 4. Some went the second 4. But here's what it was. I had 99 that sold right away in the first 4 hours. And if you look at it, there's a few elites in there. It's mostly 70s, some 60s. If you went for, I can't remember what league it was Scottish Premier or Second Bundesliga, 30.6 mil. 30.6 mil in the first 4 hours. And then after that, the next 4 hours was around 6 to 8 mil for the stuff that didn't sell the first round, and then another 3 to 4 mil the following. So I think I ended up about 40 to 45, somewhere in that range. How I spent 445 energy in Retro Stars. If you started right at the beginning of it, as soon as if you played the first skill game and you never let anything roll, then you could be at 9 more than what I'm at right now. So 446 is the highest anybody could go right now. It's 446. Here, we'll just play the 2 skill games at least. That way I don't. I got 97 SAR. I did too on stream the other day. Yeah, I've fallen behind a little bit. I haven't ever let my stuff fill up, but I didn't play the first match right away. I let the first one go. But you also, if you didn't do, if you're not playing the bonus matches or you're playing stuff in different order, win-loss race and versus is awful. Mine's been pretty good. I think I'm probably at 2/3 win, 1/3 loss. But I stopped playing it just because I got frustrated that when you did lose, you didn't get a tally towards your bonus match, and I really want the bonus matches for the arcade claw. That's more important to me than how far I can get down the path in the retro room. Is I really want the arcade stuff. So, and I've done 13 of them, which is crazy. 13, and I've claimed 7 of the players. So in 14 minutes, we'll play one more, and that'll put us at 446 energy spent. 446 before it starts. I think that's where it's at. No, it's. I don't think it counts draws. It win or draw. I guess it does. I don't know. I was getting pissed because it's. You were getting close and then you would lose one, and you're like, yeah, I want the bonus match. So that's why I stopped and started doing skill games. I think I'm far enough ahead with the first 300 energy spent on versus that I think I'll be okay. I mean, where I'm at right now. I'm here, and I did spend gems in the very beginning. That's why my gems are gone. I spent gems to open a couple of packs, hoping for a player, but didn't. Yeah. One match away from the rare. We can do team upgrades and stuff, too. All right, so let's talk about the reset. That's what, it's kind of the whole point of today. That's what I wanted to talk about. So let's talk about that giant reset button and what it actually means for FIFA Mobile. We're going to continue to autoplay versus while this is going on. Don't let me get so far ahead I miss the reset, and don't play that last.
M. Stevenson 10 is now following.
Retro Stars. Should I go straight down in retro or not? I'm going straight down the middle. Okay, so let's. I see a question about investments in preseason and everything. So let's just talk about it. So the first question was, what is reset? What is it? That big reset button is EA's shutting down FIFA Mobile 20. The whole game goes away, and it gets replaced with FIFA Mobile 21. This isn't anything new. If you're a legacy player, you've done this every season. 17 became 18, 18 became 19, 19 became 20, and now 20 is going to become 21. There's lots of reasons for the reset. There's a lot of things that actually happens when the reset does take place. And there's people that panic about it, and there's people that kind of look forward to it. I'm one of the people that looks forward to it, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. The question is, what do you lose? When the game resets, what do you lose? You're going to lose every reserve player you have. You're going to lose every player that is not in your main squad. So if you have 9 squads built and you have different players in all 9 squads, only your active squad stays. Every other player in every other squad
Glory is now following.
And every other player in your reserves, poof, disappear with the reset. You lose all your coins. You lose all your gems. You lose all your resources. They're all gone. And I know that sounds really bad, and people hear it and they're like, holy shit, I've worked so hard for this for a whole year. Why would we lose everything? So there's a method to the madness of what EA has set up. So besides what you're going to lose, what are you going to keep? So you keep all of your FIFA points. They stay in your account. Those don't go anywhere. You keep all of your later packs, which include later resources and later players. We'll talk about those when we talk about preseason. And you get to keep your legacy squad. But the only thing about legacy squad is it's only used in the legacy tab. We don't get to do anything else with it. Now, this is the first year we've actually had the legacy squad, and we were all excited about it. We thought it could be huge, and it started out pretty strong. And we expected EA to continue to add legacy stuff as the season went on, but as all of us know by now, EA is their only thing that are really efficient at is dropping the ball. It's the only thing they do consistently. And they definitely dropped the ball on Legacy Squad here. So yes, I do, Jay asked, I get to keep my 9 FIFA points. They will be here for a very long time. They've been there for the last few seasons. Yeah, you do get to keep your FIFA points. There's when preseason starts, which I'll talk about preseason when it's going to start here in a second. When preseason starts, that's the time to start building your final squad. And that is when you start to earn all of your now and later packs, and you're building towards the end of the season. Campaigns with Legacy Squad and campaigns with regular team. That's what we hoped for. That's what we kind of had at the beginning of this season, but it ended so quickly that it really was kind of pointless before it was all over. Do you not claim your FIFA points when you buy a Star Pass? How do you... Oh, no, my FIFA points when I was buying the Star Pass, back when I was buying it, those I just converted over to gems. As soon as I claimed 200 FIFA points, I would just convert them to whatever it was, 175 gems or whatever. I just auto-converted. I have 8 left over from Season 2. Yeah, see, I feel your pain. It's the same thing. So, before we get into when, I want to say why. So once you understand why, then it's a lot easier to wrap your head around it and get behind it, in the sense that you're not so nervous and panicked about it, that you're kind of looking forward to it. So if you think about console, every year when the new FIFA comes out, so like you had FIFA 15, FIFA 16, FIFA 17, and you put the new disc into your PS4 or your Xbox or whatever, you lost everything that you had gained in the old FIFA, but at any time you could go throw the old disc back in and get back to your old team. You couldn't play online because they would shut the servers down, you couldn't get across, but you still had access to that stuff. It's the same kind of thing. It's just that we lose access. So at the end of the reset, after preseason, your disc is no longer valid, but it's just that mobile version of your game. So it's just like the reset and anything else. It's a seasonal game. Now, if we kept going with what we have now, everybody would end this season at like most people are going to end between 150 and 170. There's going to be a lot above 170. I think the max before it's all over could be as high as 190, which, believe it or not, that's insane. I mean, we've already got people right now at 167, 168, 169, if you pay attention in verses or you're high enough to see them. But if we did not end the season at a reset, anybody who's new to the game and had never played before is going to get stuck. Because you've got all of these whales that have been hammering it away, and if they just keep adding to where we're at, all of those people would just keep increasing their OVR. You know, if we were still on FIFA Mobile 17, people have 300 OVR. If you just came into the game, you'd be screwed. What the reset does is it puts a time frame, a 1-year time frame.
Twitch is now following.
A 1-year time frame for people to be able to max out. And then, boom, a fire sale. Everybody goes back to 0. Pull the plug, and we all start over at scratch. Level the playing field. Think about how hard it is over the winter with winter transfers and all of those players getting added back into the system. If we just kept going, you'd have, every time a player changed teams, you have injuries, you have league shifts and everything. There'd be, I mean, if you look at look at a player like, let's see, look at Hazard. How many different versions of Hazard would there be since FIFA Mobile 17? Or FIFA, way back in the beginning in 2016 when it started, where was he at? What kit was he on? What club was he at? What league was he in? How many Team of the Week cards did he have and everything? So as you're going across all that, there's just too many cards. You've got to shut it down. You've got to reset and bring everything back to the beginning. So that's why we do it. Transfers, upgrades, downgrades to players, you've just got to reset. It levels the playing field. I'm reading all this. When do you think it's going to reset? That's the big question. When is the reset happening? No one knows. We don't have any real answer as to when the actual reset is going to happen. We can only guess and speculate. Some people are saying October, some are saying November. I'm saying September. And the reason I feel it's going to be September, it's just 100% gut feeling. It makes sense for everything that's going on. It makes sense for the league resets and the big events that are coming. We have Scream Team every October, which is the Halloween event. If they do Scream Team at the very end of the season, no one's going to want any Scream Team players to put in their legacy squad unless they are some massive players. At this point, we've got like 107 Van der Sar and everything else. So all that stuff, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for Scream Team to be released before the reset. Besides the big events like Thanksgiving and Scream Team, weekend tournament, this is another argument I have for when it's going to reset. Weekend tournament, they said a few months of weekend tournament. Now, the way many people think of that is, okay, that's 3 weekend tournaments. But it didn't say a few weekend tournaments. It said a few months of weekend tournament. A few months of weekend tournament is 2 weekend tournaments because they span from July to September. So July and August for weekend tournament 1. Weekend tournament 2 is August and then into the very beginning of September. If they go 3 weekend tournaments, it takes it into October, in which case they would have said 4 months of weekend tournament or a few weekend tournaments, not a few months of weekend tournament. So that's kind of where I'm saying it. Now, it doesn't mean that weekend tournament won't be there after the reset, which I definitely think if it's a portion of the game that's working well for them, they'll probably keep it around. So I think there's going to be 2 weekend tournaments before the end of the season. Then they're going to announce preseason. Preseason will probably overlap the second weekend tournament. It is even quite possible right now that they could release preseason on top of the last week of Retro Stars. I don't think they're above that. You've got Star Pass too. That's another big thing. Star Pass resets on August 19th. Wednesday, August 19th. If they release one more Star Pass, another 4 weeks, that means the last Star Pass would end on September 16th. If it is done September 16th, they do 1 week without a Star Pass. They give you 1 more week to claim anything that you haven't claimed before. That puts the reset, in my opinion, somewhere between like September 23rd and September 30th. That's just a guess, 100% just a guess. But I'm saying September 23rd to September 30th is when you should see the reset. It's just a guess. And it could be as early as the 16th. But if we don't hear from EA within the next week and a half that the reset is coming, then I could be really wrong. But I feel like before the end of Retro Stars, they're gonna announce preseason. Yes, we do have one more player of the month, which falls in line with everything I'm saying. That will give them some other event to kind of lay in on top of preseason, which they usually do. It's usually not just preseason and then we're done. There's usually something else going on at the same time. So it's possible that we could overlap with the last week of Retro Stars, and then in the very second week of September, we have a player of the month, so we have a reason to keep playing versus in head-to-head. And then that would give you one last chance to use all of your player of the month points. And then they will probably, here's my speculation on that too, they will add a means that you don't have to claim just the player of the month, but you can use your player of the month points for resources. Because once we start talking about what happens in preseason, you'll understand why resources become the most important thing. So if And I could be wrong, 100% I could be wrong, but I still feel like reset is going to happen that last week of September, 23rd to the 30th. So if we move on from there, the next big question is, how do you want to prepare for preseason? And what actually is preseason? Preseason is usually around 4 to 6 weeks long. It could even be 8 weeks. I don't know. And they already announced that Player of the Month points can be used for resources. See, that makes sense to me then. So let's say preseason is 6 to 8 weeks. Could be as many as short as 4, but I'm saying 6 weeks for preseason. If we have preseason and it starts as early as next Thursday and it rolls right on top of Retro Stars, once that happens, everyone's focus completely shifts. Preseason is not about new players. There are usually a few in preseason, but nobody that anybody really wants. It's usually just it's crappy players in preseason. Then they will release now and later packs and now and later players. Now, what the now and later portion of preseason is, it's if you see the logo for preseason, it's the whole two-way arrows. You'll open stuff now, and then you open stuff after.
I need to go to my quiet place.
You open stuff now, you open stuff after. So you'll have things like preseason, now and later XP packs. So you open it up and you get 10,000 XP now and 10,000 XP after the reset. There'll be boost packs, resource packs, training packs, player packs, everything, before and after the reset. There are also players, so that you will receive like a 101. Just as an example, let's say they release a 101 Van Dijk now and later card. What that would do is it would give you a 101 Van Dijk center back to use until reset, and then a 80 rated Van Dijk that you pack as soon as reset begins. You don't get another 101, but you get an equivalent player at the start of reset. So right now a 101 is probably about as important as, let's say, a 85 rated card after reset. I played 18 and when it reset open packs for an hour. 100% I was in the same spot with preseason. I love preseason. I love after the reset because that moment it restarts and you literally spend the first hour opening all of your now and later packs. Will players go down in the market? No, not necessarily. The value of players during preseason can take two different angles. They'll either go up in value because people need them for resources, or they'll go down in value because nobody's buying that range. So here's how you want to prepare. Once preseason is announced, and it could be as early as next week we hear something, or it could be a month from now. But once preseason is announced, everyone will shift focus and try to get their team to the max OVR that you can. So once everything goes max, they will likely increase the player OVR. It'll go from, 105 right now. It'll go from 105 to like 107 the first week. Then 2 weeks later, it'll go from 107 to 109 or 110. It'll be like that. Within a month, your players will go from 105 to 110. Last year, at the reset, we went from skill boost maxing at 20. It jumped to 23. Then it jumped all the way to 25, then 27. It ended last season, skill boost, at 27. But it was 20 like 2 months before. So everybody that feels like, I maxed out my skill boost at 20, guess what? That ain't going to be nothing a month from now. Skill boost at 20 is going to seem like last year. You're going to have stuff at 24, 25, 26, 27. And preseason is not about players. It is all about resources, because it's at this point you've pretty much got your team together, or you know what you want. You're trying to get your money together. Did you get Twitch partner approved? No, did not. You're trying to get your money together, your XP, your coins, and everything to reach your max level, get your players what you want, and get your team together. So once you have your 11
I got a big fucking boner right now.
Once you have your 11 players together for your final squad that you want to take out of this season into next, that's when you really start to focus on all of the resources you need to take that team as high as you can go. Right now, if everybody can max their perks out, you have, I can't even remember how much it is. I think it's maybe 19 OVR boost out of the perks. Then increasing on top of that, you have all of your rank shards that you can, your shards that you can use for rank up. So during preseason, they will probably pump preseason full of shards that you'll be able to claim, because they have to start introducing legacy and a lot more epic shards for people to be able to hit that max level. You have, let's see, training XP they'll be giving it out like candy during preseason as well. Many people remember the one preseason that had the map pieces that looked more like treasure hunt than anything. Last season was preseason was it the spaceships? Last year was
I
space
got a big
themed.
fucking boner right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be completely different than anything we've seen all season long. I mean, EA could screw it up. I mean, they proved it yesterday when they released those 9 skill games. Yeah, the space one. They proved they could screw it up yesterday when they added the 9 skill games in. So stupid. But I mean, I'm really
XX Spirit
hopeful
underscore Gaming XX is now following.
Preseason, when it is released, will be very important. Have a linear path with branches like all the other events. There will probably be a rehash of what we've got now for preseason, but it'll be more along the lines of a rehash of like Team of the Year, Team of the Season, where you had multiple tabs and different opportunities to do different stuff. In years past, we've had different quests to follow. Some of it was you had to win so many league versus league matches. Some of them had to do with how many times you trained players. And then going into it, the big thing is to... Why does EA think it takes 7 days to complete 9 skill games? I have no idea. But they'll take... it'll be huge opportunities for resources. Everything from... like 500 skill boost will be given away almost daily, because
FIFA
they
Jesse
want
cheered
everybody.
X10. What will you do with all your masters, elites, and silvers?
That's next. All those skill boosts, all those XP and everything is going to go directly into your team. So it'll be as involved as Team of the Season and Team of the Year were, but it's going to just be all about player upgrades. So the big thing that everybody needs when it comes to player upgrades are players to use as XP and players to use as rank ups. Which is why I've been saying masters are one of the most important things right now that you need to be investing in. Hold on. Hey, I watch a lot of your videos and streams and would love to watch you more. I plan on subscribing your Twitch soon, but my question is, how will you know I did so? Give me access to your other videos. Once you join at Twitch, you connect the Twitch to the Discord, and that's how you gain access, is through the Discord. You just have to connect it to your Discord. If it's possible, EA will dial in preseason. Phone it in. Yeah, I don't know. There's a huge chance that EA will screw up preseason too. I'm hoping that the reason they've kind of let Retro Stars fall apart and Treasure Hunt be a giant piece of shit is because they've been working day and night on preseason. I'm hoping. Yeah. We still have icons left. There's like 6 icons that have not yet been released. So once this last icons go, I think you're going to have a couple of weeks to claim any last icons you're going to need. Here's what you want to do going into preseason. So listen up. Here's what you want to get ready for preseason. All your coins, all your investments, hold on to them. Do not go selling and dumping your players right now. I'm not even doing any big upgrades on my team right now because I'm using every penny I have, every bit of coins I claim is going directly into player investments. And the major investments that I'm focusing on are masters. The reason with masters is you need them for all of your rank ups. You'll need them for 315k XP a pop. It's just going to be...
Dick.
Glad to hear your Storm missed you guys Monday. Yeah, I did. I saw that on... you were in Iowa and did get hit. Yeah, I got lucky. I was on the road, too. We just had to cancel a bunch of training, but I think it was okay. I'll go back to this. The value on Masters... It could go up, it could go down. Position specific are definitely going to go up because the SBC in Memory 1 required 90s up and it was position specific. Because of those reasons, I think EA is going to continue to do that, and we're going to see that a lot during preseason. Those off-position players, everybody's got right wings, everybody's got left wings, cams, center defensive mids, center forwards, all that stuff there's a lot of them. The positions that are hard to grab are, most importantly, right back, then center mids, left mids, right mids, and goalkeepers. Then center backs. All the attacking players are pretty flush in the system. But if you have a chance to buy masters, right back, left back, center mid, right mid, left mid, and goalkeeper, just avoid all the forwards. Those are what you really need to focus on putting back. If you have your team, this is something we've discussed in League. If you have your entire team at 105 right now, and all of your rank ups are at, let's say, 9 or 10. Let's just say 10. To take your team to max 110 by the end of the season, you need about 500 masters for XP and rank ups. You need about 500 million coins to get you there. That doesn't include boost. Just the cost of the upgrades and the players that you would need in hand. 500 masters and 500 million coins. So think about that. That's to max out right now. If you have a max 105 team and all of your ranks at 9 or 10, it still requires 500 more masters and 500 million coins to get you to max level. That means preseason, you're going to have to work really hard, and you had to have been working on all your investments moving up. How many coins will we average from preseason? You mean like earn during preseason? A lot, but nothing compared to what you would actually need to do anything. You have to go into preseason with investments. So right mid, right back, and left back below 1.1 is a good investment. Yes, and if anyone was paying attention, weekend tournament without having, or not weekend tournament, Retro Stars the second week, because there was no SBC, we saw a massive drop in player value. Button Munch here. John is the reason I know
Kaloki turn is now following.
John is the reason I know we need 500 masters and 500 million coins to be able to max our team out. John, how many masters do you have? And how many coins do you have right now? Just put it in the chat. Just let everybody know how many masters you've been hoarding and how many coins you have at the moment. Yeah, 500 masters. That's why I've been telling everybody, you've got to be buying. You've got to be buying. Should we be investing now? Yes. Yes. I'm 600 million away from my goal this season, and I'm 152 million away from my more realistic goal this season. My realistic goal this season is I would love to be able to reach, I would like to be in the mid to upper 70s, so like 175 to 178 OVR. And I want my boost to be
is now following.
as close to max as possible. That's my plan. So are we talking 100 million plus from preseason? I think you can easily make 100 million during preseason. Without a doubt. Butt Munch, John, as he's more affectionately known, has well over 500 million and 758 masters. Yes. So is it possible to be at this position right now? 100%. And John is the proof that fishing and investing in all this stuff can make a huge, huge difference. Huge difference. So I keep joking that I may feel like I know a lot about the market, but John takes everything I say and he runs with it. Between John and Renee, if you know who Renee is from Discord, between those two, they've taken everything I've said to do that I don't always do, that I always say, hey, do as I say, not as I do, because I don't always follow my own advice. They have followed it, and John is the best example of what investing properly can do. It's insane. That many masters at this point. 758 masters, 512 million coins, and his team is already, he's got at least half of the players are at 105 or higher. Unless, I think John went ahead and took everybody to 105. I would like to hit 140 as a free-to-play. Let's say you're at 135 right now. A 10 OVR jump during preseason is nothing. It will happen. But having 500 million plus masters and 500 million is impossible if you're free-to-play. Not true. Not true. If I would have been a lot more intelligent with my investments at this point and not put a bunch of money into the players that I have already, then I definitely could be at that point. I wouldn't have the team trained where I'm at right now. Is 20 OVR plus possible? Yes. You're going to see big jumps during preseason. It will make a huge difference. Huge difference during preseason. Is it safe to sell Virgil van Dijk and get Vita invest on Masters? Your legacy squad is really only be used for legacy different stuff, for legacy things. But, you want your highest OVR. I don't know. I couldn't get rid of anybody I have in my squad just because I would hate to walk away from them. And I wouldn't want to do it. But if it's for the coins only, like what do we have? Let's claim the stuff that sold last night. I'm not doing a poll or anything. I'm just going to claim this stuff. Now, as far as silvers go during preseason, I think silvers are going to still be there. I had a lot of luck last night with 69s. I brought a decent amount of coins in with those. This stuff is just the stuff that's sold since this morning. And if you look, these are all 69s. Do I have any more? I need to claim all this stuff and reset it. Actually, what was that? That was O'Dowd. Those might still be worth something. I only have 4 million. What should I do? If you only have 4 million, I would be buying silvers at this point to try to build and turn that 4 mil into as much as you possibly can. Last season during preseason, Masters were selling for less than 400K. How cheap do you think they will be this season? I don't think they will be cheap like that this season. The reason they were so cheap last year was because of Treasure Hunt. It wasn't because of preseason. It was because of Treasure Hunt. Treasure Hunt gave away so many coins or so many masters that it killed the value. Did I spell it wrong? Nope, he's already lost his value. What should I do with 45 mil? Well, let's just see. Here's what I'm going to do. I don't know how much I've got left. We're going to see if we can get if there's any masters right now for 900,000. I don't think there is. If I could sit here and snipe a few, I could. Goalkeepers are cheap right now because of Retro Stars. They're definitely good investments. Goalkeepers and any of the positions we already talked about, specifically defenders, are well worth the investment. We got 4 minutes to play a skill game. Let's see. Do I have to go all the way up to 1.1? Did stuff come back up in value today? Man, stuff popped back up. So can we get any center backs? We'll just stick with this just to see if there's anything in this range. Is it all goalkeepers? Left backs? Left mid? Center backs? This is the range I would be in for this value right now. Just because I feel like we're gonna see that stuff pop back up. A lot of goalkeepers. We'll buy both of these. Spending all my money on defensive masters. I've got a lot. I've been buying a lot of goalkeepers, defensive masters, outside mids. Goalkeepers are good because you know you can always make money on goalkeepers. I'd like to grab a right mid. I don't have a whole lot of right mids. Let's see. Let's go up to 1.3. This is all I'm doing. Every time I'm selling anything, I'm buying more players. There's Lo Celso. That's not that bad. Wolcott. We'll grab Wolcott. Right mids. I would show you how many masters I have, but they're all in the market just to hold place. So that's where... Oh, shit. I don't want to forget. There we go. Get this last match in before the reset. Don't forget to get your stuff in. What do you do with the masters after? I will sell the masters and invest in more masters. And I will also use those masters for XP. Now, if you look at my team... Here, we'll do this real quick. Because I think we got enough here. We can claim the rare. Okay, so if you look at my squad right now, I'm broke. I have no money. But I also do have 3 boosts to upgrade. But it's more important right now to stockpile players and coins than it is to actually be buying anything. What if Masters will go low during preseason? Then they go low during preseason. I mean, if they do, they do. Most of us have been buying our Masters for 700K. I don't think I'm paying any more than 1.1 mil for anything which is still about 3-to-1 XP. And as long as you're buying center backs and you're buying those players that I wouldn't spend 1.1 million coins right now on a striker, because strikers are a dime a dozen. Left wing, center forwards, all that stuff you should have a ton of those already. So the XP is just to upgrade all your players to max. Yes, if your masters get used for XP and you want to max out a player from 105 to 110, that's where all the masters come into play. That's where the 500 masters come in. You won't need all 500 masters if you have XP. So if you look at my Van Dijk is ready. All I got to do is dump these two in and spend a coin or two. Cost me 2 mil to take Van Dijk to 105 right now, but I'm not doing it because I'd rather use that 2 mil to buy more masters. What do you do if you're a beginner and have an OVR of 115? How do you prepare for preseason? I would seriously start fishing silvers to get as many coins as you can. These auto clickers are so annoying. 20 mil XP to take it 105 to 110. I don't think it's 20 mil. What is it? It's 105 to 110 is 2.6. And it goes up, I think it's like 16 mil. Something like that. 16 mil in XP for one player. Investing in 90 left back and right back under 1 mil for next week SBC is the better option. Yes, there are a lot of left backs. Left backs are easy to come by. I think all of mine are in the market. Left backs are easy to come by. It's right backs that are a little bit more difficult to find than the left backs at a cheap, right? If you look at here, see, this is the stuff I've bought since yesterday. This is the stuff I bought with the weekend tournament funds. Just all the center backs, left backs, a lot of goalkeepers. Spreading it out a little bit. Got a lot of, there's the Buffons. If you see anybody that's locked, the reason like Mendy is locked is because if I look at him, I need the 93s and 94s to be able to get Allison to 14. I still say unless EA have streamers on the development team, then they won't improve the game. Yeah, I would agree with that. It can only get better, though. It's about as bad as it can get. Oh, we had the reset. Let's see. You holding on icons waiting them for it to be auctionable. Either for them to go auctionable or for me to be able to use the icons as either XP or for SBCs or rank ups. Have you been claiming popular icons in hopes that they'll become auctionable before the season ends? Sort of. I held on to everything I could until I got King Kenny because I wanted to make sure I had what I needed to do it. But yes, since then, that's what I've been doing. So here's the icons that I've got. You know, which is why the other day on stream I grabbed Pele, Van der Sar, and Pep just because of their OVRs and ranges. I think they'll give me the best bang. Plus, there's no real sense in grabbing strikers and stuff when you can use midfield and defensive XP is more important. You think I should stop relaxing and watching the stream and start fishing since I'm... Yeah, definitely. And if you guys are stuck on what I'm talking about as far as fishing, just watch one of the old fishing videos. Really, it's working well. It's consistent. It's daily coins. It's all coming in as quick as you can. You just got to buy a ton. Is the game starting? Bayern's goal already? All right, so where are we at? Nothing changed. Nothing. We got ads to run. So 446. So today I'll get my reset at 466. So we're going to get 33. I won't have enough. But 33 today puts me at 79. I'll literally be one short. of the goal tomorrow. So at the end of reset today, with 33, I'll be at 479. The first 20 spent tomorrow will put me at 499. That sucks. What price you put while fishing? Watch the video. The thing to do is it's starting price is about double what you're paying. Buy it now is about 5 times what you're paying. Just a thought, but what about an end of season tourney? Just using weekend tournament players or silvers, then a t-shirt or merchandise as a prize. That's actually kind of cool. I would not be above that. That sounds fun. What does refresh mean? That's like the daily refresh. Every day at, 5 minutes ago, the game resets and all the new stuff gets put back into the game. Buyer doesn't end up going too far. Would you want to win the UCL? I don't know. I haven't thought about it at all. I would really like Bayern to win it. That's kind of my second go-to. If it's not Liverpool, I'd be happy with Bayern winning. Should I hold my coins? I have 20 mil. No, I would be investing every day. Right now, I'm all about the investments. Will Masters go down in value? Yes, they very well could. But I'm buying Masters right now not to sell during preseason. I'm buying Masters right now to be able to sell like next week. And the reason I don't have a lot of Masters in, like if you look here, I probably only have, let's see, what do I got? 90 up. There's only 100 Masters here. Everything else is still in the market. I'm fishing this stuff every day, all day. That stuff that's in there, those 100 Masters, the only reason they're not in the market is because those 100 I've bought since yesterday. If EA releases program packs like Season 2, Masters value will drop. Maybe, but not necessarily across the board. I'm investing this week in players that I'm hoping to sell by next week. Those Masters. Jay, super excited about Bayern and Barca. Yeah, it's recording. I got to go start the game. What price should I buy the 69 silvers for? As cheap as possible. And I think right now they're down to like 1,200 coins. You can buy 69s for 1,200, I think. In my market, at least. That's where they were. Not weekend tournament. You don't want weekend tournament. You want base players. Those. Under 1,200. If at 1,200, you could literally fish them. Starting price 2,400. Buy it now 6,000 and be good to go. Is golden ticket using gems a good idea? Not if you don't want to use one of those golden ticket players in your squad. I didn't get any of them because I would rather use those gems on arcade because you can't sell golden ticket players. All my gems right now are going straight into the arcade. All right, so did that kind of help as far as getting you guys ready for preseason? Did it kind of answer any of the questions I think you guys had? What I'll do is I'll take and I'll trim this video down a little bit and put together and make a highlight of it for just all things preseason, and then try to answer any questions in the comments that I can. And just hopefully that will kind of get a jump on it. 1-to-1? So that's where we're going to end it. Hope you guys enjoyed it today. Something different. And where am I fishing Masters? 1.8 mil starting price, 2 mil. Buy it now. That's my go-to all season. Oh, he owned gold. See, now I got to start from the beginning and at least get caught up. Yeah, I'm ending a little early today because I want to go watch the match as much as everybody else does. So, thanks a lot for hanging out today. Hope that helped on preseason. And let's see. Is somebody on? Is anybody on? Or is everybody watching the match? Stopty's on. All right, we'll raid Stopty. Let him know where you came from. I'm not raiding. I'm leaving. I'm going to go watch the game. But let Stopty know where he came from. And I will be back on tomorrow about an hour before reset. Hopefully an hour before reset. And we'll see everybody then. Thanks a lot, guys. And as long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep making videos.